Hi, everyone. My name is Debbie Manville, and I run the 1 Million Diamonds Art Instagram. Today, I'm talking with Remirough. Hi, Remy.
Hello. Hi, Debbie.
Remy and I had a conversation a few months ago. Unfortunately, technological problems made it so that it didn't get recorded. So we're doing it again today. Very excited. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your art background and also what you're up to right now during COVID times. So where did this all start for you?
I mean, it kind of feels like it started a billion years ago. And I guess, painting for 36 years. You know, I started graffiti in 1984 when it kind of came over from New York, and I got into that first wave, and it was kind of exciting because, you know, it happened just, I mean, I always say to people that the interesting thing about graffiti art is or graffiti writing is it happened at absolutely the perfect time. You know, like when it happened in the Bronx in New York was broke. So the trains didn't get cleaned. People could do what they like. You know, if it happened 10 years before or 10 years after, it wouldn't have had the same traction.
Okay.
And I guess the same can be said for the UK. It came to the UK in the midst of Thatcherism, and perfect timing. You know, a lot of young people were very disillusioned with government, with the way the country was being run, and the art of rebellion had this voice that we all kind of adhered to. So yeah, I guess, you know, it came at the perfect time, really.
You were one of the beginning graffiti writers over there.
I was kind of in the first stroke second generation. I kind of just crossed that line. There were people writing before me, but yeah, I was quite lucky. I still got it quite early on. So 84 for me, but it'd been here for like a couple of years at least prior to that. I think Lee Quinones did a show here in 82.
Okay.
Which, as far as I understand, was the first thing that was here. Okay. And then Futura came with a Clash later that year. Yeah.
And now you guys are all friends.
I don't know Lee, but I know Futura very well. Yeah, that's weird. It's so weird. Like, I have a Carlos Mayer sculpture. I don't know if you can see the Spider-Man, and he's in Style Wars. That's just mad.
I know.
But, yeah, I know a lot of those guys, and they're you know, they're all brilliant artists and all brilliant human beings, and they gave so much, and they still give so much. You know, like Crash shows me in his gallery in the Bronx, and has been a huge mentor and supporter to me. So that's really, really nice. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky.
Were you doing art before that?
It's funny. So my mum, God rest her soul, always had this story that she would tell people about how when I was about 5 or 6, I drew this combine harvester, and I'd never physically seen. You know, I grew up in the city. I'd never seen a combine harvester, but somehow I'd seen a picture and memorized it. I was always drawing dinosaurs, and you know, and then Star Wars happened, so suddenly I was drawing Star Wars, and I think it was a really good access point for me to be creative. I'm not particularly academic, you know, although I'm quite good at maths, actually. That's not true. I'm quite a good mathematician, but you know, other than that, I have nothing. So it was my outlet. So I was always drawing from like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Constantly.
Did you go to art school or no?
So I flitted with it. I did a foundation, which I don't know if you have the same thing in the States. It's kind of like you get a precursor to going to university or to art school. It's like a 1-year thing. And I did that with a view to going to art school. And no one would have me. You know, I tried I had this portfolio full of graffiti, and I thought, you know, I'm being so proactive. I'm painting every week. I'm doing murals every week, pieces every week. They're going to see that. They're going to think, this guy works hard. They look at my graffiti and they're like, get out of here. And the interesting thing is my school was really pushing me into like, yeah, you should do graphic design. Go into graphic design. I was like, really? I kind of see myself more fine art. No, graphic design. So I kind of ended up being a graphic designer for years.
Okay.
Which I hated because I had to go the long route around to becoming a fine artist. But I think being the graphic designer for so many years helped me attune this kind of graphic sensibility to the work I make. So I went the wrong way round to get where I needed to be. But I guess if I'd have gone a different way, I wouldn't be making the kind of work that I'm making. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it all happens exactly as it should. FIT wouldn't have me either, so.
Well, you know, because we're just too great.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't had a lot of luck with a lot of art things. It's pretty funny, but it makes it, I think, more important to you on the inside. It grows your passion more because you're just like, but I know I want it, so I'm still going to get it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's interesting because I think it took me a long time to actually realize that all the side hustles that I was doing music. I mean, I still do music, but I was kind of like in a band and you know, we never lost any money, but we certainly never made any money.
Right.
So that was a complete false economy. But
Yeah.
Art has always been this constant, I guess. And you know, I think the business of art is a very misrepresented and misunderstood part of this whole equation, and I think that's quite important to me. You know, like when I talk to young people about going into the art world, and the thing is, a lot of these kids, they come out of art school, they think they're just going to walk into White Cube and Jay Joplin's going to sign a check, and you know, that's it, they're famous. It doesn't work like that. And I'm always telling them, you have to understand the business of art, and you have to make yourself a business.
You know, I have a lot of artists that come to me and they make the same, and I think that's like a thing that young artists do, is they kind of copy other artists. And
yeah,
I think it's kind of almost a stage that you have to go through to get to your own language, because sometimes it takes a long time to grow that and understand that. Myself the same, I'm still learning my own, but you know, it takes some time, and you know, that's not something that you can just buy.
no,
It takes a long time to get to that.
No, and it's also, you know, there's a sprinkling of magic that needs to be there. There's a sprinkling of, you know, audaciousness that needs to be there. You know, there's so many factors involved, and being in the right place at the right time and knowing the right people, sadly, is a big part of it. Or getting yourself in front of them, which, you know, is kind of the harder way, but also it's possible and people do it.
Do you think that Instagram has helped you during the digital age, since, you know, we're really kind of past the good old fashioned, like, bring your portfolio to a gallery?
Yeah, it's interesting. I things come to me. I never really know if they come via Instagram or where they. I guess they do, because that's, you know, my most visual representation of what I do.
Okay.
But, you know, if things come in, I really should question where they come in and find out, actually.
You need one of those little cards that, you know, like with the check boxes.
Yeah, tick boxes, yeah. I'll add that to my ever increasing list of to-do things.
Yeah, I have the same list. I understand. How did your show go in Italy?
It was amazing. I'm still a bit blown away by the fact that I got contacted in April by a gallery in northern Italy, which at that point was in such a mess with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we're opening a gallery. We'd love you to be our inaugural artist. And I was like, really? We thought it was a joke at first. And then, you know, after numerous Zooms, and then they flew us out to meet and greet and see the gallery. And you know, now the owner, Dennis, is like a really good friend of mine. And we're like, we're making plans for like the next 2 years, and they've just expanded their space. They've literally just doubled the space they have. So, they mean business.
Wow.
In fact, I'm rocking their t-shirt, Kronos Gallery. I'm ever on the hustle. Actually, no, I just grabbed the t-shirt this morning, but
it was kismet.
Exactly. But they were great. They were really good. And Trento is a beautiful place because it's in an area called Trentino, which is very north of Italy. So it's the top of Lake Garda. And you're like 45 minutes away from the Swiss border.
The lakes are gorgeous. I've been there.
They call it the Valley of the Lakes.
It's so amazing.
I mean, you probably saw on my Instagram, I was literally taking pictures of lakes all the time, but it was, it was amazing. I'm really looking forward to going back. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Well, everything else was falling apart around me. That thing kind of kept me sane, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have kind of grabbed onto something, and it has helped them get through this. Yeah,
I definitely have, like, numerous things. Like, I did my fantasy project series, which was just like photoshopped buildings of murals. Because obviously, I mean, even to this point, I've done one mural this year.
Wow.
Which for me is, it's unbelievable. Usually I'm on like mural number 12 by now.
Oh, wow.
But I've just started my second of the year. I mean, it's probably going to be my last of the year, which is a job for the Cuban embassy.
Oh, wow.
So I'm finishing it tomorrow. So quite excited about that. It's coming out nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where is it? It's in London?
It's in London, yeah. It's actually in East London. It's nowhere near the embassy, but it's a cultural exchange. So there's an artist in Havana doing a mural. It's actually, this week is British Week in Cuba. So it's like a cultural exchange.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of fun. Again, weird things that came in during this year. We just got a big job for a whiskey brand as well, which is quite big, and it's like crazy things.
Congratulations. That's great.
Yeah, it's cool. And I moved studio as well. So I'm in this really nice big studio now.
You moved studio, right? When did you move?
1st of September.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. Moved up from 250 to 750 square foot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I need to
got more room. Hard. Are you making bigger pieces now?
Exactly. It will be. I mean, I'm still settling in, so, but I will definitely will be making some very big pieces.
Okay. I was going to ask you, how did you make the shift from graphic design into doing what you're doing now?
I guess it was a number of things. I've been exploring abstraction within my graffiti writing since I started. I was never quite comfortable with the traditionalism of graffiti writing. It's so many rules. I never understood why rebellious art form had so many rules. Like, it's crazy. And I met an artist called Juice126, who you should follow. He's an amazing artist, very influential on me, very influential on a lot of people. And I would kind of cite him as our UK version of Futura.
Okay, I'll check it out.
And he and I met in 1989, and he kind of pushed me in a bit of a different direction and just opened my eyes to things that I didn't know about, especially people in our graffiti movement. He was showing me work by Futura and Remirough that I hadn't seen at that stage.
Okay.
And then I kind of still went down the graffiti lettering path, but I abstracted what I was doing. I kept fragmenting it, and it just became more and more minimal throughout my career, to the point where I was literally just using black paint and doing these minimalist kind of compositions. And then, it went another step further. Probably in, I would say 2006, I did a show, and it was a kind of mix of letters and abstraction. And then in 2008, I did my first solo show of complete abstraction in Aberdeen. And it was really successful. And it was, yeah, it was quite mad. And then I signed with a gallery the year after that in London, and I started showing with them. Not as successfully, but I stuck with what I was doing, and just, you know, it is an ever ongoing hustle. But I guess the last few years, people have started to get what I'm doing and get where it comes from and the reference, and you know, it is about, as much as it comes from graffiti writing and this kind of counterculture art movement, it stems from, you know, suprematism and modernism and all these things that we take for granted in our, you know, everyday environments, architectural environments, etc. So I guess it's just kind of started to make sense the last few years.
Good. I'm glad it's coming together for you.
I'm still working on it, but yeah, it's getting there. Slowly.
I kind of think like it's like a lifetime thing with being an artist. It's, you know, you go through your own stages, and you're just learning how to learn yourself, I feel.
Yeah. And it's also, you know, you have to balance it with how you live your life and how you know, just normal shit. Family and children, and
Yeah.
but you know, I've got a 16-year-old daughter, so that's a challenge in itself.
I can imagine. What other things do you have going on next year right now? Do you have like a lot of stuff lined up, or is everyone kind of waiting right now?
I've actually got quite a few things beginning to happen. So there's a couple of shows that I have working, group shows.
Mm-hmm.
One is in Germany with 44309 Gallery. And then I've got a couple of other projects. I've got, so I was meant to be going to Jacksonville in April, but obviously COVID killed that job.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that's all coming back. So it's going to be a year late, but maybe March, April. I'm hopefully going to be going to Jacksonville and fulfilling my projects there. So yeah, I'm talking to a couple of galleries to see. Yeah, I don't know. I might do it myself. I might just rent a space and kind of do like a pop-up.
That would be fun.
Yeah, and I've done that before. I've got some really good people who can help me with that. I just want to do, you know, I love London. I'm a real Londoner, and I think for me, showing work in my own city is it's just important to me. It doesn't really mean anything on the grand, you know, in the grand scheme of things, but
well, you're representing your home.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, the last show that I did in London was called Home.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm glad we've turned that page.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's definitely something I'd like to do. And then I'm kind of again talking to a couple of people in New York about some representation out there. So yeah.
Cool. So you're busy.
Trying, and then, you know, with the print releases, we've got like a print release with Nelly Duff coming out in January that you can get a little sneak peek of there.
Nice.
I don't like to give myself too much to do, but I try and keep enough going so that I can just keep moving, keep busy.
Yeah. Well, you seem like you're doing fine. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because I figured you'd be able to share all of your information to help other artists with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to a lot of, I've spoken to artists who've literally closed studios and given the key back to their landlords and like, I'm done. I can't survive this. And I know one guy who went and bought a van. He's just like, you know, moving stuff for people because he just panicked. He just like, I'm not going to make money from art. I can't do this. And I know people who are doing really well from it. And, you know, I guess a lot of it comes down to the individual. I think you have to be quite strong and have a bit of self-belief to get through times like this. You know, people still have money. People are not spending the money that they have on, you know, $10,000 holidays. They're sitting in their homes thinking, I should get that piece of art that I wanted to get for 3 years. So I guess it's about tapping into those kind of those wavelengths and accessing those kind of people. So yeah, it's I don't think there's any easy answer to that. I think that, you know, like I said, I just keep doing, you know, if there's a quiet spell, I'm like, shit, I'm going to make a book. I'm going to make a little book. I've got a great printer friend. I'm going to do 100 copies. I'm going to put them on my website and, you know, keep that ticking over, do small paper releases. You know, there's always a way and there's always an audience. It's just about having the, you know, the grit to follow it through.
I think a lot of people don't believe, you know, I grew up in a situation where my mother told me that art doesn't make money. And that was a tough fight for a while.
So many people have that. I mean, it's like the biggest economy after oil.
Yeah.
So how can people have that mentality? You know, this is the thing, you know, we've got this whole, I hate to even mention Brexit, but the biggest problem is the fishing. And so there's this whole thing where they're trying to get this trade deal across, and the fishing industry is like a blocking point. Now, the fishing industry is worth 0.9 billion or something compared to the arts and music industry, which is worth like 3 billion. But, you know, they don't give a shit about the music and the arts and the theatre. And that is just where we are. Governments, idiots, all of them. Hey, at least we got rid of Trump. Last time we spoke, he was still the boss. He's not the boss anymore. Well,
no, he still believes he is, but that's okay. He's going to have a rude awakening on January 20th.
Do you think a SWAT team are going to have to remove him?
They're going to have to fumigate and like probably like acid bleach the shit out of the White House. It's disgusting.
I'm sure. So,
Remy, I can't even believe the things that we've been through. I mean, even just our resources. I watch water and I watch soil. And with water alone, we used to have 2 contaminants, maybe 1. Now we have 10 in all of the tap water throughout the whole United States.
Well, one of the whole Brexit things was they were trying to do this trade deal with Trump, and your food standards compared to European food standards are so bad.
I know. I've been to Europe and I was engaged to a French guy, and I know what real meat tastes like. It's so gross. Oh my God.
My uncle who is British lives in Mississippi, and he says he goes to the supermarket to like buy a chicken, and he says it's all like wet, and he's like, it's not a chicken.
I know all about it.
It costs so much. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know.
Well, hopefully Joey B is going to come in and save the day. He's going to sort you guys all out. Hopefully.
I really hope so. We need to start turning things back around, I feel. I don't know an artist that doesn't feel that way. I don't know anyone who's right-brained or, you know, and there are conflicting perceptions, and I understand that, but I just don't really feel that we went a very good direction for the past 4 years, and we have so much work to turn it around. Because he screwed up so much stuff. I mean, it's like unreal. He's still like trying to sell off like land to like oil people. I'm just like, stop, go away.
I mean, surely he's got to go to prison. You know, something's going to happen. They're gonna get him somehow. There's going to be so many people. Once he's a normal civilian, there's going to be so many people who want to get him. He's
Crimes
not
against humanity. Crimes against humanity. You're not allowed to just go and rip away all the restrictions just because someone threw some money at you.
Yeah. And 300,000 people have died under his watch because he's, too busy saying it's fake election, it's fake news, it's this, it's that. It's like, oh my God.
I know, I can't. I can't. It's just, I'm so glad it's over. Cheers.
The world breathed such a huge, like the whole planet breathed a sigh of relief when that happened.
I've always believed that Trump was supposed to happen so that people could understand how important it is to have everything in the right order. He was just a symbol. He was a symbol of like
idiocy.
What's
mad though is I've got in this whole, since the election, I've got completely addicted to CNN. I know, it's crazy.
It's funny. I've gotten addicted to The Guardian. How funny is that?
Yeah, exactly. And there was an interview with all these Trump supporters, and this is like a week ago, and they absolutely categorically still believed that he was going to still be the president.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole bunch of people because of Fox News. Fox News should also be in trouble for something. You can't just go around and make things up and tell people shit. Like, you're a news company.
I know. I'm hoping that something really bad happens to all of them, Awful. It's unbelievable. Like, we have the Daily Mail here.
I know Daily Mail, yeah.
Yeah, we have that, which is the same. The things they write, it's all racist, right wing. And you just think, how do people sleep at night? And then, fortunately, most of the news outlets here have a modicum of sensibility and understanding of what's going on in the real world. But when you see something like Fox News, you just think, how can you just say that stuff?
And the crazy thing is everyone who watches it, and I know a whole bunch of people, including my parents, they are brainwashed like beyond belief. And then you'll just hear like little snippets of it while you're walking places. I have my neighbor, the same thing. She's like, well, if Biden gets in, the protesters. And I'm like, the protesters aren't the ones you have to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh my God.
It all makes sense, he'll get in, life will suddenly become normal and calm, and they'll all realize, oh, well, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe, I don't know. Well, maybe they won't. Who knows?
I just hope it all works out. I hope it all turns around.
But at least we have art, which is our constant. And, it's like, it's interesting because there's so much great art, so many great artists, and you kind of through the phone, you have like constant access to seeing all this stuff. So, I feel constantly inspired by, I can't remember, I saw something yesterday, but do you know an artist called Tristan Eaton?
Of course, yeah, he's following me.
He's a legend, and anyway, he put something up on Instagram. I just felt really inspired. It's like, this guy, he's a machine. He just does not stop.
He is a machine, and he's working on that SpaceX piece, SpaceX project now, which is like really super amazing. I mean, he goes from, project to project, and they're always amazing. Like, he doesn't do little stuff. And I know a few of his, the guys that work with him. I went to Red Bull with them, actually. And they help him out. And I met him. He's a very nice guy. He's just like a nice person,
Lovely. I was doing a mural in London once, and he called me and was like, I'm in London, what are you doing? I was like, I'm painting a mural inside a furniture showroom. He's like, I'll come and help. And he just came for like 3 hours and just helped fill in.
That's nice.
Brilliant. He's lovely.
He is.
That's, do you know, that thing that I've missed this year is seeing all my artist friends. And I didn't get to go to Miami last year because my daughter was really sick at the time. So I had to cancel it. And then this year we booked tickets like in January. so that we'd have our flights ready, and then obviously no Miami this year. So, you know, and all the projects I was doing in Jacksonville, I would have seen like loads of friends there, and I'd missed connecting physically with other human beings on that level.
Yeah, me too. It's very difficult to do anything anymore. You're always welcome to come down to Philly.
I usually. Thank you. That's very kind of you. One day. I've there's so many places in the States I really want to go to, and I kind of like planned on hitting some of them this year. So yet again, and I really need to get to Tokyo. I really want to go to Tokyo.
That would be cool too. Definitely.
Never been. I kind of want to go to do a show or a project so that I don't have to pay for it, because it's extraordinarily expensive to fly there.
Manifest it.
I kind of want to get someone to pay for it. I'm trying. I'm asking the angels in the universe.
There you go.
Yeah, the angels are going to help me.
That'll be your. I'll be your witch spell lady. We'll manifest that for you for 2021, 2022. You get to go to Tokyo. All right. Boom. Done.
What about you? What are you up to? So you're curating a show. That's quite exciting.
I'm curating the show with Jonathan Levine online, which you might be a part of. And also, what else am I doing this year? I'm opening Diamonds Online finally. I was going to do it over the summer, but I sold the house, so I had to kind of put everything on hold. And then I'm going to see if I could get a space down there after things open up. Philly is closed right now. So I'm gonna look at spaces, and then also I came upon the realization that my couch wouldn't fit into my house, so I might be making some furniture too.
Cool. I like that as a runoff to the end point there. Yeah, I have an amazing friend of mine who's like that, and he builds stuff. So just to give you, he made these amazing cupboards.
Oh wow!
See here, which go floor to ceiling, and he also made this really amazing table.
Oh wow, that's nice. So, yeah, I have a table like that, but that's gorgeous. It's always nice when someone makes you something nice like that.
Tom, who's been making stuff for me, so I just keep getting him, come make this, make that. That's fun. And I help. I kind of stand around and pretend that I know what I'm doing, but I'm not very good. I'm not a handy person.
No?
People always think that artists are really good at like painting and decorating. I'm the worst decorator in the world. I'm terrible.
I got lucky with that. I do interior design a little bit, and I also have had to learn construction through making canvas frames for the past 20 years. So,
yeah, and maybe I need to continue craft.
That's all right. Either way, I will let you go back to your day. I do super appreciate you talking to me.
Chat, and we had such a good chat the last time, so it's nice to chat again.
Yes, it was very nice, and I'm glad we got this one this time. Either way, I will talk to you soon, and I wish you the best of luck with the end of the year. Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
And you, Debbie. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Ciao.
Bye.